Hello, my name is Steve Gouge, and I welcome you to this online course offered by Fruitland Baptist Bible College. Over the next 10 weeks, I will have the privilege of being your instructor for Church Administration 201. Welcome to this class. You may be a church leader, a ministry leader in your church, a pastor, a church staff member, an interested layperson, or a person who simply possesses an interest in the subject of church administration. Whatever your level of interest, and from whatever motivation you enrolled in this class, I welcome you. Now let me introduce myself. I'm a graduate of Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary in Fort Worth, Texas, where I hold 2 degrees. I have a Master of Divinity and then a Master of Arts in Religious Education. I also attended and graduated from Southern Baptist Theological Seminary in Louisville, Kentucky, where I was awarded the Doctor of Ministry degree. These credentials do not make me an expert on any subject, but this serves to help you understand my background. I'm married to my high school sweetheart. Her name is Wanda. I have 2 daughters and 6 grandchildren. I've enjoyed over 40 years of ministry. For 37 of those years, I was a pastor. For the past 5+ years, I was the Director of Missions for Brushy Mountain Baptist Association in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. I recently retired, and now I live in Louisville, Kentucky, near my children and grandchildren. Now, any professor who is worth his salt will do research before teaching a class as important as this one. Therefore, I want to express appreciation to many people who have served as a resource for me in teaching this class. First, I'd like to recognize Dr. Sandy Beck. Dr. Beck is a professor at Fruitland Baptist Bible College on the Hendersonville campus, and he's a Director of Missions for the Carolina Baptist Association. William Caldwell is a former professor of mine at Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, and he's an author in your text. He provided many of the chapters in the textbook Church Administration Handbook. Charles Tidwell, an author, also a professor. He's written an outstanding book called Church Administration, Effective Leadership for Ministry. Alvin Lindgren is a scholar and author. He has written the very powerful book, Purposeful Church Administration. Then I also would like to thank Reverend Major Stewart. He's the senior pastor of Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church, located in Flint, Michigan. Then Leroy Thompson, Bacone College professor in Muskogee, Oklahoma. Dr. Alex Straunch, who teaches at Emmaus Bible College in Iowa. These and many others have been very helpful to me as I developed the content of this class. Now let's take some time to examine the syllabus for this course. For these next few minutes, it would be very helpful for you to have a copy of the course syllabus in front of you. If for some reason you do not have the syllabus, I would suggest that you pause this video and first obtain a printed copy of the document so that you can follow along as I describe the contents of this class. Now let me share with you some of the important highlights of the syllabus. Please be aware of the fact that every student is responsible for reading and understanding the syllabus. On page number 2, you're going to find the required textbook for this class. The text is written by Bruce P. Powers. It's Church Administration Handbook, the 3rd edition. This is an outstanding book that you will no doubt use all through your ministry. It has a number of contributors. Those contributors are indeed outstanding scholars in their own right. J.T. Robertson, Jr., Robert D. Dale, William G. Caldwell, Bob Johnson, and many others. So that is the required textbook. I would encourage you to read the entire textbook, and I will say more about that in just a moment. Now on page 3 of your syllabus, you will notice Internet video resources. Links to Internet or video assignments are provided for ease of access by the student. To connect the link for a specific lesson, simply go to the week corresponding to the assignment due date on Moodle. Now notice also Roman numeral number 7. There will be opportunities for interaction with your professor. I am available for one-on-one conversations upon request, using the free technology that's provided by Skype, FaceTime, or we can talk by telephone. Feel free to contact me if you'd like to schedule a time of interaction. And now let's look at the course requirements and assignments. This class will potentially advance the student to the honor of earning an associate's degree. Therefore, the course requirements reflect what a serious student should expect. Notice that students registering late for this class can have some flexibility with the course. If you'll just contact me and clarify your reason for registering late, then I will make adjustments for the submission of your work. I mentioned your textbook earlier. Students are required to read textbooks as they are assigned. The schedule of weekly readings are found in your syllabus on page number 7. There will be questions on the midterm and final examination regarding whether the student has completed the required reading. A failure to read thoroughly all assignments will result in a reduction of one's grade as revealed through the testing process. There will be 2 major tests, a midterm exam and then also a final exam. Now, I'm going to permit you to use your books and notes and even your Bible for these exams, but there will be a time limit set up. Realize that an open book, open notes type exam can be a trap. It can trap you into thinking, well, I can just simply look up the answers as I come to the questions. But, ladies and gentlemen, please be aware of the fact that that can be a disaster, because 10 or 15 minutes may elapse while you're researching one question, and you think you know where it is in the book, but you discover, to your horror and dismay, that it's not where you thought it was located. So I would encourage you to study and to be ready for the exam. Again, there will be a time limit set for each exam, and as soon as that limit expires, the exam concludes. Exams will be made up of a combination of multiple choice, short answers, true or false, and essay questions. The final exam will not be comprehensive, but will cover materials presented after the midterm exam. Then you will want to complete the study questions that are a part of your assignments. From Power's book, there will be questions that will correspond to each chapter. You should type the question and then the answer before submitting your assignment through Moodle. Study questions can be submitted as late as 11:55 p.m. the Saturday following the assignment. Notice that there is one exception to this with week 1 and 2, and just simply see the tentative agenda of class sessions and assignments on page 7 for those exceptions. Students will also submit a philosophy of ministry paper during this course. It will be 6 to 8 pages long and should be submitted according to the schedule on page 7. You will have an opportunity of doing some research through the internet. If you simply type in the topics, a personal philosophy of ministry, a biblical philosophy of ministry, or a philosophy of church ministry, you type that in your browser, you will have some models that will be then presented to you. Now, I want you to build your own philosophy of church administration, but these are models. In addition to those that you can find online, I have included some excellent examples on the course page of Moodle, featuring points of emphasis from Drs. John MacArthur and Thomas Cassidy. There is a glossary of administrative terms that you certainly will want to be familiar with. Many of these terms will be used in course readings. A glossary can be obtained on the course page of Moodle. Multiple choice questions concerning glossary words will appear on your quizzes, the midterm, and final exams. There will also be 3 case study forums. Students will participate in 3 case study discussion forums during the quarter. Students will write a 200 word original post in response to the case study that I will provide, and then write 2 150-word replies to other classmates' posts. You'll notice the assignment schedule again on page 7. There will be quizzes as well. Comprehension of the reading and the PowerPoint lectures will be tested through a series of 6 quizzes throughout the quarter. Now, there will be no makeups on these quizzes. Preparation and study is essential. Quizzes are open book, open notes, and open Bibles. However, there will be a time limit. Extra credit can be earned if a student feels they need to do so, and you will find the information there in your course syllabus. Now notice the course grading. 20% comes from the midterm. 20% of your grade comes from the final exam. 15% your study questions. 15% from the personal philosophy of ministry paper. 15% from a case study discussion forum. And 15% from weekly quizzes. You'll notice the grading scale. This is the typical grading scale that Fruitland uses, and if you have been a student for several courses, you are already familiar with this rather high scale for grading. Now, you'll also notice course policies. I want to point out one item, and that is this: all assignments are required. You will need assignments that are turned in late will result in a 20% deduction in one's grade. The only exception to that is if you have a documented emergency. That means you will have emailed me to let me know why you were unable to submit your assignment. No late assignments will be accepted after the 9th week. A grade of incomplete will be granted only under extenuating circumstances and only by approval of your instructor. You must communicate in a timely fashion with your professor to explain the reasons for requesting an incomplete. I do not give grades. Students earn them. Students will receive only what they earn. Respect for divergent views must be an understood guideline for this class, particularly as that relates to the discussion forums. Plagiarism or cheating is not acceptable behavior. If a student has a disabling condition of some kind, I will try to make accommodations for that student, but at the very beginning of the course you must let me know. Every effort has been made to describe this course accurately. Nevertheless, I do reserve the right to adjust the syllabus when necessary. Now, writing guidelines. You'll want to use the Turabian style format. All papers should be typed in 12-point Times New Roman font, double space. Page margins at the top, bottom, and sides are to be 1 inch. Misspelling, grammatical errors, poor syntax, excessive use of the first person will count against the grade. Assignments must be turned in as Microsoft Word documents through Moodle. Each paper should include a cover sheet, the course name, the section, and of course this is online, and the student's name, date, and professor's name. And be sure to comply with minimum and maximum lengths of assignments. Now we come to page number 7, and that is the tentative agenda of class sessions and assignments. You notice on the left-hand column you will find the date and the week number. Then in the next column over, moving toward the right, you'll notice the word topic at the top of the next column. That lets you know what we will discuss in class during the week. This will give you an idea of the information that we will be covering. The third column, moving toward the right, reading and PowerPoints. This lets you know what your reading assignments are and which PowerPoint lecture you should be listening to for the week. And then the very last column, all the way over to the right, is assignment due. This is when each assignment is to be received. Hopefully this overview was helpful. If, however, some of the assignments are confusing or unclear, feel free to contact me for further clarification. It might be best to email a question that you have, or we could set up a Skype call even. Now I'm so happy that you're in the class, and I look forward to you doing your best work. May God bless you in every way.